and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of CT Cinema Retro Reviews, where I be CT. That's who I am. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Before we get into any of that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the Reels. Thank you for reposting the Reels. Thank you for commenting on the Reels. And update, we are everywhere you listen to podcasts. Just type in CT Cinema Movie Reviews everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can catch up on all the old episodes. And beyond that, make sure you follow each one of the pages. We got a new Facebook. We got the YouTube. We got the Instagram. CT Cinema Movie Reviews. Now, with that said, I want to thank the patrons. First of all, the patrons for showing up and showing out. Team CT, you're doing your thing. If you would like to become a member, we have so many different things that we do. I want to start doing a weekly movie watch party with the movies that we have coming up for the episodes with our guests, but we want to watch them with you guys inside the Patreon before we do. Now, with that said, I want to introduce my right hand, my sidekick, the sidekick of all sidekicks, your sidekick's favorite sidekick. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Young. How are you, man?
What's going on, good people? I'm good, CT, man. Look, happy. Look, I'm excited for today.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. I'm glad that you said that.
Yes.
Before we even introduce the guest, I want you to acknowledge this to the people because I'm getting tired of defending it. If I can be honest with you. There's so many episodes where I'm dropping the reels and people are like, yeah, cool with the movie. What's up with his hair? And I'm like, hey, bro.
I've seen them. I've seen the comments. I love it. I love it. Like, it's so funny because, and don't get me wrong, I get it a lot. Say again?
You just keep going.
No, I wanted a different kind of style, and this is what I decided to go with, and I get it. It's not for everybody. It turns out you don't have to wear it.
That's a fact. Let me tell you something. All I've said in these comments was like, hey, man, that's his style. Stall him out. You know what I'm saying? I'm defending you. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen it and I appreciate it. And
man.
Really, look, trust me, you don't even have to do it. It's like, let the people say what they want to say. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's okay too. It doesn't matter.
Such a nice guy. You know why I could not be quiet on them comments?
Why?
Because it's like being in school and your boy getting messed with.
I
can't just stand by.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
You
think Batman would let Robin just get, well, he did.
He did, yeah. It happened. It happened
a couple
What's
times.
the morning ritual like? Like, how do you style it?
Oh, listen, it's super simple for me. Like, honestly, I don't spend any time, and that's why it's like I just put a little bit of product, comb it, and that's it. Like, I'm not a high maintenance anything. I can't, it just looks like this.
You're making it worse. Listen, man, Look, I don't do anything. Lord. I would like to, before I introduce our guests, I want to say that the super chats are open, okay? The super chats. If you're watching on Facebook and you are giving stars, please tell us the stars that you give so we can acknowledge you, because in this app, it does not tell us when you do it. Outside of that, if you would like to give a super chat, first of all, please, because these bills are expensive.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I want to pay for this studio for the month with these shows, and I'm out of money. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to see how long these episodes go. In the meantime, if you give a super chat of $10 or more, your comment goes on the screen. We appreciate you all day. If you give a super chat of $20 or more, we will give you a thank you speech movie style. Like we had the Oscars, or actually you choose the award show style of speech you want. You want MTV movie style? You want Source Awards? It's up to you. You know what I'm talking about? And if you give an outrageous amount of $40 or more, I'm sorry, that's the $40 or more. $20 or more is we will give you some of our favorite movie quotes and moments. All right? Now, without further ado, it's time to introduce the massive mega icon that is this man. Yes. This brother is not only a fellow content creator, this is one of the most famous and lovable people on the internet. When I tell you this boy is loved, I'm not just saying it. You understand? Ladies and gentlemen, LA native.
Right.
The legendary. He's always in the sky because he's Patrick Cloud. Woo! What's up, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me. That was a cool intro, man. I'm not most of that stuff.
I'm not
most. which is cool. It's cool to hear.
Man, I want to, and as a matter of fact, I was going to say this on air. I'm going to save this for the after show on Patreon. Nice. If you're not a member, go to patreon.com/CTisDOPE. I have a confession for Patrick Cloud that I will only say on the after show that he doesn't even know. It's very interesting. Anyway, this episode, we are reviewing The Matrix.
Heck
I hit Patrick. I said, hey, man, what are your favorite movies? He said the Grinch Stole Christmas. I didn't know if it was the Jim Carrey one or if it was the
absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I won't accept any other Grinch.
Wow.
I'm a massive
Never seen
Jim
it.
Carrey fan.
It's a hot take.
Same, and that's why I'm shocked that I hadn't seen it.
Oh, you've never seen How the
Never
Grinch Stole
seen,
Christmas?
never seen it.
Oh.
I mean, it's not one of those things where like somebody with glasses on a master class would be like, yeah, let's dissect the Grinch. Like I like it for very personal family. I love Christmas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just have a huge tie to it, but it's not like the movie buffs number one type of thing. It's not like you missed like I think it's a cinematic masterpiece, but it's not like,
Here's the thing about you saying it. So Persephone was here last week.
Mhm.
Shout out to Steph. And I was telling her your favorites. I was like, he said How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He said The Matrix. He said The Office. Because we were going to review the TV show, The Office.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know. Because I'm thinking about doing a TV show. It depends on what your favorite episode is or if it's going to be a random one. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, well, you know what? I want to save Cloud for around Christmas time. And we do that. And that was her idea. She was like, do it around Christmas.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that's a fact. So you
Mhm.
already booked twice. So now you're here today.
Hell yeah.
Holiday
Back around
special.
Christmas, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So The Matrix, let's get into it. Before we begin, what is one of your favorite scenes in the movie?
Man, so that's a tough question, and that's I think why it's so high up on my list.
Mhm.
Is that I think that The Matrix is one of the most memorable movies of all time. Like
100%.
it's really packed in. Like they got the office scene where he's on the phone, like running from the agents. You got
Yeah.
meeting Morpheus, red pill, blue pill. You got the subway scene, dodging bullets, stopping bullets, the slow mo jump. It's like they really didn't waste anything. That's why it was parodied so much.
Right,
like
yeah.
right.
almost every scene has been parodied, and
Yeah.
the only things that get parodied are stuff that's like iconic, or else the joke ain't
Right.
gonna hit.
That's a fact.
So it's like
That's a
Mhm.
fact.
they like if you think about comedically over the years, it's been almost every scene has a parody out there.
Mhm.
So that's really really tough for me.
Jamie Foxx show did a parody of it.
Really?
yeah,
Of the
yeah,
Matrix?
yeah.
Of The Matrix. And it was
Wow.
funny because Jamie Foxx was on the WB and this is a Warner Brothers movie. So I'm like, oh, I bet they were easily able to do that.
Right.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Let's
Um,
start with the beginning of the movie because you naming the whole damn movie. Now I'm going to say this. When you look at this film,
Mhm.
hadn't seen it in 20 years, bro.
Wow.
So
Oh.
I'm rewatching it with fresh eyes, and I'm like, all right. The movie starts out with Trinity running away from these agents,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
She jumps off a building. The agents jump off a building. Here's my problem. In church shoes, bro?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
You immediately checked out. This is
Immediately.
the first scene. Immediately was like, nope, no way.
Bro, in these shoes is what I'm saying. Like, these are
See?
hard bottoms, bro.
See?
You're
Right,
not
right.
doing that in hard bottoms.
That's how I know
show
you
me
don't know
sneakers-
enough Belizeans.
Belizeans be doing that in hard
Oh
bottoms?
man, listen, we can do anything in hard bottom shoes. It's crazy.
But that's the best thing about the Matrix
Agreed.
is that this is a computer program. Everything within their rules makes sense.
Mhm.
Because you can just download skills. You
Yeah.
can literally say, I want these church shoes to have grip.
Right.
Brrr,
Right.
Boom. You know?
Right.
There's like, it almost makes it so there's very few plot holes.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like Lawrence Fishburne is probably the most, like the least believable action star of all time. Like, I don't believe this nigga knows jujitsu.
I can't.
How dare
Listen,
you?
man.
How dare
I'm
you?
saying he was like in a karate gi doing perfect martial arts, but it makes sense because of the whole like you could download a skill. The Trinity learned how to fly a
Yeah.
helicopter in 2 seconds. So
That's true,
you
too.
have the
Mhm.
believability comes from all angles.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll say this before we get started. Watch the N-bombs and the F-bombs and everything.
Oh,
like
my
that.
bad. Yeah.
That's all good. That's my fault. So here's the thing. The movie, I agree with what you say because you can download these programs.
Mhm.
However, when I'm looking at this film and I see a couple of things, the first thing that I see is Trinity has Neo or Thomas Anderson in the club.
Mhm.
He follows the white rabbit on the back of the girl's shoulder.
Right.
And we never see her again.
Mhm.
And they're in the club, and Trinity is whispering in his ear. And she's like, you're not looking for an answer. You're looking for the question. And here's my problem. First of all, I'm hard. You whispering in my ear. You telling me something serious. I'm in an inappropriate stance. Because, you know, when a woman is whispering in your ear, bro,
Yeah.
that's why I don't let
Yeah.
everybody whisper in my ear. You be like, and you said, oh, this ain't the real world. So this is already throwing me because I'm like, the attraction, the chemistry
Right.
is here, right?
Right.
Now, fast forward to, and this is the believable part of the movie. This is where I was like, all right, bet. Neo's getting lit out by Lawrence Fishburne's Morpheus.
Mhm.
And he says, jump out of this window, go onto the scaffolding, and get up to the roof.
Mhm.
He comes out of the window, already 2 more steps than I would have taken.
100%.
Then he gets out to the ledge. The phone drops. I got so much anxiety watching that
Yeah.
phone drop
Yeah.
because I'm feeling like I'm on the roof with him
Right.
or the ledge. He says, I can't do this. And I said, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And he gets carried out by the police.
Uh-huh.
That's when I said, I'm back in.
This is believable.
100%.
He didn't just become the one.
He
you
did
know?
not.
He actually spent most of the movie saying, I'm not, stop. Stop calling me that. I'm not the one.
100%.
These are
100%.
facts.
I would
Oh,
have
my
definitely been in
goodness.
custody.
Hold tight.
Uh-oh.
First super chat of the episode.
Nice.
Autumn Reed, $9.99. Thank you so
Let's
much.
go.
The progression of hair growth between all 3 of you is late night
I'm
infomercial
third, right?
hilarious.
I love that.
But the Matrix has so many levels of references to computers, IT programs, and old school MS-DOS games. That is a fact. And thank
Right.
you so much, Autumn Reed, for our first super chat
I
of
don't
the
know what
Thank
episode.
the
you,
last thing
Autumn.
is. MS-DOS games?
Second, let me hit you with this. Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah.
Mm.
Carrie Ann Moss. First of all, I don't know how, but this is the only white woman on the planet that's never aged.
Yeah.
She ain't aged at all. She still looks the exact same.
No, for real.
And she's oozing that juice. Do you understand me?
That juice.
This,
That white woman juice.
hey, this Carrie Ann Moss is a white woman. A black woman would have to be like, well, go ahead. I understand. Like, she cold. And in this movie, she's at her peak, bro.
100%. She's
Yes.
definitely at her peak in the original. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
She's,
well-
she's pretty.
oh, you just go, okay.
You know, she's pretty, you know?
Got it. Anyway, you ever had your friend not go along with you? Yeah, okay.
No, I'm with you. It
That's
was
what's up.
the oozing juice. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And by oozing the juice, it's like, you know, the sauce. She got the sauce, man.
Right.
She got, you
Mhm.
know what I'm talking about? Anyway, when I look at the not Mr. Anderson, the Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Agent Smith, great villain.
Right.
I feel he made a bad pitch to Neo, right?
Okay.
Because realistically, he held him hostage,
Yeah.
threw that thing in his stomach, hella pause. It was something that he
Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah. That was a crazy scene.
that was wild, right?
Uh-huh.
Got his mouth to where he can't speak.
Right.
And then he wakes up from this dream. My
Pretty much
thought
got
was this.
him pregnant. That was like a hit it and quit
He
it situation.
definitely, oh my God.
Mhm.
And then he woke up in his bed. Neo was very violated in that scene.
100%.
So violated, bro.
He was pregnant. He
So I'm
woke-
looking at this movie and I'm like, if he would have just spoke to him, if he would have tried to convince him that their side were the good guys and Morpheus was the bad guy, I think the movie would have been completely different.
I feel in fairness, though,
Mm-hmm.
he does try that initially.
Uh-huh.
He does tell him, he's like, hey, man, this guy's a terrorist.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, just help us and we'll get him and you'll be good. Like, we'll erase this whole file or whatever.
It's not enough.
And what does Neo say? Neo's like, how about I give you the middle finger?
Yeah.
and he's like, and give me my phone call. He's like, I know my rights.
People aren't very good at explaining like the gravity of the situation.
Never.
And I personally think that the red and the blue pill should have been offered separately. I think that was
Interesting.
a very well. You getting love.
Oh, we got another super chat.
You
Throw it
getting
on the
love,
screen. John DeBro, $9.99. Thank you
Nice.
so much, man.
Thank you.
The Matrix is also my favorite movie of all time. I can watch it like I never saw it before. How about
it's
that?
I agree.
Shout out to you,
Look,
John.
keep the super chats coming, folks. We appreciate it so much. Please.
Facts. You understand me? As a matter of fact, speaking of the red and blue pill, let me just say this, man. I'm listening to your pitch, Morpheus. All right? But I'm not about to eat candy out your hand.
That's what
You could have said these
you're like
on the
no
table.
rapper.
Where were those jelly beans in your pocket?
These were hand.
But he is villainous because he knows everybody would take the blue pill if he didn't offer them at the same time.
Yeah.
He knows how much worse it is on the outside. If you think about it, like everybody's eating soup and oatmeal.
It's like-
Everybody musty.
Soup is generous.
Everybody looks crazy
Everybody
musty.
is musty, bro.
There's flying aliens. There's nothing pretty. There's no
Nothing.
grass.
Everything's gray.
He should be like, wake up, and then if you still wanted the truth, then we stay, and if not, blue pill.
Bro, first of all, let's go back to the must. There's so much must in this film because they showed him everything except the shower. They showed him
There
the
was none.
ship. They showed him the holes in his body.
Exactly.
He woke up with no eyebrows and no hair. Then magically, a day later, he got like the buzz. That's something else that startled me.
that is kind of crazy.
Come on, man. Can
But
we
I
talk
mean, I think that the shower is really inside the program of the computer. That's not like real life, you know? If you see any of the sequels where they're like all dancing and everybody musty and it's just like, I don't think showering is a part of the real world. The same way that in this movie, I forget his name, the old boy who was like the traitor.
the traitor.
Cypher.
He went
Cypher.
into the program just to have a steak.
Right.
He just wanted a nice steak. He had to go into the computer program because he knew what it was on the ship.
Absolutely.
So it's like, come on, Morpheus, give everybody a chance to say no to this.
But are you ready? Are you ready for this? There were a couple of qualms I had with that moment. The fact that he went into the Matrix to have a steak instead of the fact that Morpheus pointed out, this is one of our simulations. We can simulate it to be a table. We can simulate for your clothes, for your hair, for this. So why can't you simulate some food that we've tasted in the Matrix to enjoy?
Or why not just have everybody plug in just for dinner?
Hold tight. Hold on a second, man.
Hey.
Oh my God. Sweets came in with $100.
Thank you, Sweets.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Sweets.
What did they say? TC?
Sweets just says Team CT all day.
Oh, nice.
Now, let me tell you, this is what we do here, Patrick.
I love it.
I felt so old for a second. I was like, I haven't heard that slang. Is that the new slang?
Here's what we
Tic-tac.
do here. What we do here, brother, is, as I've said, for outrageous amounts of $40 or more, we give you an award speech. So each of us will give a different speech. You are our guest, so you will go second. All I need from you, Sweets, is tell me which style of award show speech you would like. Do you want Oscars? Do you want BET? You want MTV? You want Source? You want Nickelodeon Kids' Choice? You tell us. And while waiting on that, I will say this. Morpheus as a character, I was more interested in seeing his backstory.
Yeah.
I would like to see a prequel with Morpheus of how he got awakened and then his mentor and teaching him to where he became the teacher for everybody and unleashed and freed
That probably
everyone.
would have been a better sequel, like 2.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I mean, like I enjoyed the other Matrix movies, but like what I was saying about how memorable that first one is, the other ones are a little spotty. Like the iconic scenes are kind of like a little bit more few and far between. And the way that first one hit, like it damn near like it set up the scene for like X-Men or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it also took a lot from Blade though. So you got to give credit where credit's good.
It's true. It's
It's
true.
I'll tell you what else they took. A lot of leather out of the world. Boy,
Yeah.
there was so much leather in this movie.
90% leather.
I mean,
Everything in this movie, bro. Everything 90s and 2000s early was all leather based. Peter should have said something sooner.
I mean, I feel like, we talked about how iconic The Matrix is as a film. It's like the influence of it was felt all through the 2000s.
Yeah.
And, the only reason you have the X-Men in all that leather is because of The Matrix.
Well, X-Men came first.
No,
The X-Men movie?
Didn't X-Men come out in 99?
No, I think it's 2000, I think.
I thought so because Matrix is 99.
Yeah.
Right? Or is it 98 or 99?
Which one came out first? Everybody in the chat, tell us, was it Matrix or X-Men?
Yeah.
And speaking of first, the first glance I had at Lawrence Fishburne, I was kind of annoyed because all that money and he's never closed that gap. That pissed me off.
Oh yeah, his skin is terrible in the movie.
Oh my God.
I saw it in like 6D. It's like that that link I sent you. It's like that new movie theater that has like they basically expand everything like past the screen.
Yeah.
So in the scene where like the robot alien comes out of the roof, you see it way in the ceiling like breaking through.
Wow.
And then it flies around and then it like comes, you see it on the actual movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that did nothing for Lawrence Fishburne's skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looked crazy in 4D. It looked just like it looked like a bunch of holes in it. It was nuts.
And I'll say this, to see Lawrence Fishburne have the glasses without the stem, I was like, how is this staying on his face, bro?
Right,
Even from a practical standpoint.
Right.
But I love Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, yeah.
Pat roasted you. I did not. He is the
I love
executive
Lawrence
producer.
Fishburne
Roast me.
too.
I am not a part of that. Did she answer yet, Alex, of what style of award she wants? She says, still upset with Pat about villainy. But to answer your question, the Source Awards. All right, bet.
Oh, but we can't cuss.
We can't cuss.
That was a weird choice.
We can't cuss.
The Source.
Hey, this for all y'all that's watching the show right now, I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you, Sweets, for giving us that love that we deserve. You understand? This super chat, thank you so much. Holding it up. West Coast. It's my source.
Nice.
It's my
I
source.
love that.
Source right there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Appreciate that. Pat, you next when the next outrageous super chat amount comes through.
Okay.
So now we get into the thick of this movie. Joe Pantoliano from Bad Boys and so many other things. He had a show on CBS. I was growing up watching. It was it was like a drama. He was a cab driver or something like that. Or no, that's Hack. He had another show that ended up getting canceled, but I loved seeing his work. When you look at this movie, you know he's a traitor.
Right.
Mhm.
He's bold.
Very obvious.
Yeah.
He's got the villain goatee.
Yeah.
Even how he talks.
Yeah.
How doesn't anybody realize this? Bro?
Yeah, that's the Wusaw guy from Bad Boys.
He is the
Mhm.
Wusaw guy.
Yeah, so it was crazy going back and seeing that. It was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I like that actor,
But
but he's very
speaking-
clearly an enemy.
He's so enigmatic.
Right.
I say enigmatic. I
Animatic
like
is
that.
kind of cool.
He's enigmatic, bro. But let's talk about my favorite character in this movie, bro.
Can I
And-
guess?
Give it to
Ooh.
me. Give me your guess.
Is it the Oracle?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
She's
Wow.
actually my least favorite character in
The
this movie.
Oracle?
Yeah.
Oh, OG Oracle's the best.
She also got recast, which unfortunately
Well,
she passed away.
yeah.
Sister Foster,
Yeah.
who was married to Clarence Williams III.
Oh, I didn't know
Or is
that.
it the fourth? I keep forgetting the third or the fourth. I think it's the fourth. Let's stick
Oh.
with the fourth. From Tales from the Hood. He was
Oh,
also the
shit.
father in Purple Rain. We reviewed
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
But she was married to him. She passed away. They had to
Why
recast.
don't you like her?
You know why? She offered nothing. She spoke in so many parables, and it was like, yes, Neo. Oh, watch out for that vase. Now the question is, would you have knocked it over
I
if
don't
I had
think
said
so.
anything? It's like, no, I wouldn't.
I didn't know it was there.
Exactly.
Who said what vase? And that's why I knocked it over.
For 99, it made sense, but overall, I was like, But the guy,
I like her mysteriousness.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she could have just been like, you're the one, just you don't know yet.
And I feel
but
like
just
that
keep trying."
performance is very subtle. Like it's
Tank.
Tank
Tank is my favorite. Played by Marcus Chong.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Trinity. Okay.
Trinity's a number 2 for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But Tank,
Yeah.
he was the MVP for me, bro.
Yeah, Tank is good.
because he kept everything moving. He was so likable from the beginning. His
Mhm.
brother wasn't, they didn't need to cast his brother at all. I don't even know how they
Really?
were brothers. He's half black and Asian, and his brother is just this old black man with a
But
mustache.
the brother was the tech guy. They needed him too. He was important.
They didn't even show him doing anything, bro.
Yeah, didn't he like shoot the traitor and get everybody out?
That was Tank.
Yeah.
Oh, Tank isn't the big guy?
No.
No.
Oh.
Dozer's the big guy.
Yeah, Dozer's the big
Tank,
guy.
Tank
I
is
was thinking
the
Tank was the big guy.
Tank's
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
operator.
yeah. The big guy didn't really do anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Nothing at all. So Tank was amazing, and he looked like Michael Jackson. If you really look at him,
He
long
kind of
enough,
did.
it's like,
Yeah.
look like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I
he was
wonder where he's at.
amphibious. Huh?
What did you just say?
I'll just say he had like an amphibious kind of swag.
amphibious.
Amphibious swag? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you?
He just looked like a little frog-like.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean, it wasn't supposed to be. You
looked like he could
feel
get in and out of water real
meaner.
quick.
You guys are making it meaner than it was supposed to be.
Amphibious swag is
Amphibious.
hilarious.
I've
They
never
all did
heard.
meth on that ship. I think that's just that's just the look. That's just everybody's look was a little bit methed out. What else are you supposed to do? You see how terrible it is.
Oh, they all did meth.
Yeah, they
on
were
the
all doing
ship.
meth on that ship. I'm just saying that he had something in his eyes.
All right. This movie took place technically 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
They don't know for sure, but 100 years in the future. Here's my question, bro. They presented the AI, which we're dealing with to this day, right?
Sure.
Which is even more scary when you look at the film. But when you see the movie, when Morpheus shows the real world, I was like, I think I'll stay on the Matrix, bro.
That's what I was saying. Give me the option for the blue pill later because it's clearly terrible. It's like it's like a cornfield of just human batteries.
Yeah.
How do we win? How do we ever, even if we wake up and we're like, oh, this is reality, they still got you.
They got you. There's no happy ending in this, bro.
And those aliens seem very hard to kill. I mean, that they have the EMPs and stuff like that, but come on.
That
So-
means you can only charge it once every 5 minutes, though.
So
That's not helpful.
let me ask you all this question then. Like,
Yeah.
you have the scene in this movie where like Morpheus actually tells Neo what the Matrix is.
Right.
And he's freaked out by the entire prospect of it or whatnot and throwing up and all that kind of stuff. How do you all feel like you all would react to that news? Like, how would you react to finding out what the Matrix actually is, CT?
Anger. And I'm going to tell you why it's anger, bro.
Okay.
Because mind you, the Matrix is also, before I even finish answering that question, notice that when they came outside of the real world back into the Matrix, they're still killing real people.
Oh, yeah.
These are people who are simulated, but their brains are the simulation. Their bodies are in the real world. So you're still killing real people.
Right.
So that kind of argument of the Matrix not being real is kind of just opinion based. But
okay, it's a good dream.
It's a great dream.
It's lucid dreaming, yeah.
But to answer your question, I will be angry because now what Neo learned a little bit later in the movie was his childhood memories weren't real. Nothing he knows is real. This was all simulated. So I love my mama. I don't know how y'all feel about your mama.
I love my mama.
Love my mama, boy. Love my sisters. Love my dad. Love everybody.
Yep.
And to tell me that these people aren't real,
right? And
you wake me up and everybody wearing gray, ain't a blue shirt in sight, pissed.
Ain't a blue shirt?
Ain't a blue. That's my favorite colors. Ain't no blue shirt.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, at the end of the day, your mama is probably in a pod with the thing, so she real too.
She's not my mama. Because these people who are in the pods are just they're created.
Everybody's making everybody's like a role.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
They're not born. So that means nobody actually made it. That's what I loved about Tank. Tank and Dozer were
real naturally born.
Because they're born in the
Zion.
real world.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you queue into a game with randoms. Like, bro, you guys were in the lobby and you queued in with your mama and your sister and your brother.
We're teammates now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many people have you gotten to be friends with just out at fake war? You don't have PTSD from your last Call of Duty round, but you have friends. That part was real.
I'll give you that. That's a great example.
I'm saying the bond you guys shared in that fake war was still real. And that's why you give a good GGs. That's probably what you got. That should be our final words when we die on our death day. All right, GGs, y'all.
GGs, everybody. GG. Throw it up on the screen, man. Autumn Reed, $9.99. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Autumn Reed. Please.
You need to have an understanding of computer programming and coding to understand certain characters like Oracle. Also, if you really think about it, if the Matrix is the future reality of the Terminator, I am not mad at that, Autumn Reed. You actually bring a great point. And thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody who's giving super chats, thank you.
Yes.
Please keep them coming. I got to pay for the studio, and Lauren's been catching Ubers from the south side of LA.
Real talk.
That's far.
You know
That's mad far.
So while we're having this conversation, The Terminator was a great movie. There was a rumor for years that a black woman had created the Terminator and a Matrix, and it was supposed to exist like this. And I was like, oh, for real? And I think Autumn was the one who told me, like, no, that's just a rumor. It's not true. However, the truth is that the Matrix and the Terminator were connected.
Really?
So in that world, what is the solution? Like you said.
So is Neo and John Connor supposed to be the same person or just different people?
I believe John Connor. Well, that's where it's tricky because John Connor is the one who ends up creating the Terminators. And then you have Neo, somebody who was born to immediately fight against you know what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of gets murky to me. If anybody has the answer, please throw that super chat up and let us know so we all can know.
I mean, I don't understand why they didn't just ask the chat GPT, like, how do we defeat you? And then we would have gotten the answer and then we could win the war. That's how we use chat GPT now.
That is a fact.
That is true.
Bro.
If you get out of line, what do we do?
Yeah, you tell us. And then it's like, damn it.
You got me. GG.
Well, first of all, I think Terminator is probably the scariest version of the future I've ever seen.
Okay.
You know, just like wasteland, these creepy things going around shooting each other. But I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't necessarily happen if robots took over. I feel like if robots took over, it would be way more subtle and way more like impactful than having physical things walking around shooting.
Yeah, I don't think it would be physical. Like when I look at stuff like on Black Mirror and I'm like, bro, now this is terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But when I think about the Terminator, its sole purpose to come, I think they would do more manipulative things. Like first they're going to start with anything they have control of you electronically. Yeah. And then they're going to there's an episode of Black Mirror. I'm not going to spoil it. You definitely got to watch it where someone has a device that manipulates reality.
Mhm.
And in it manipulating reality, it's causing this one character to lose their mind.
Oh damn!
And
This is Black Mirror.
This is Black Mirror, the most recent season.
Mm.
And it's so fire that I'm like, that's what
Is
an
that the
AI will do.
Thronglets episode?
No, but that's crazy
Oh,
too.
okay. I love that episode.
That was, oh man, that freaked me out, man.
Yeah, for real.
But it also showed you, like, remember when you were a kid and you would crush an insect? You're like, ah, and
Yeah.
somebody tells you, like, hey, these things have lives too.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, I didn't know. I thought they were just, no, that's why you gotta be cool. And you're like,
Mhm.
all right, bet. So I only hurt them if they're trying to hurt me or
Mhm.
bam. Got it. Thronglets threw me off because it was like, you show this truly evil person just doing this just because he thinks they're inanimate objects there in a video game.
Yeah.
And it breaks your heart to watch it. So I think people doing things like that in the world of AI
Mm-hmm.
is what would cause them to be like, all right, we're about to wipe everybody out now because the
Yeah.
actions of a few.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're not the best. We're not leaving the best footprint on this earth. So if you
That's a fact.
break down our existence just with data,
Mhm.
like we are terrible on paper.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we're 6 months away from Ultron right now. Like as soon as they really realize, like,
Yeah.
what do you guys even contribute? Their first thing is gonna be like, get rid of them, like a mold or
Yeah.
something.
Hey,
'Cause-
Agent Smith says that in the movie, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He says we're a virus.
Bro, speaking of viruses, I want to ask you guys this right now. There was a glitch in the Matrix, and that glitch was named a deja vu.
That great
Mhm.
part of the movie.
It
Mhm.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
When Neo said, oh, deja vu, guys. And she's like, no, that's a glitch.
Right.
I then start thinking about, even though a writer wrote this in a script,
Mhm.
I'm like, man, what if that's the truth? Because
Right.
we've all had deja vus,
100%.
which would prove that the Matrix is a real thing.
That movie
Mhm.
changed how I think of deja vu. I
Mhm.
can only think that. And I think that's so, that speaks to the plot so well. It wasn't just like a movie like, man, that was dope. You
Yeah.
know, it kind of like bleeds into your real life and it makes you start
Yeah.
looking around. It's pretty much like, I feel like the Matrix is like an action version of the Truman Show. Like the Truman Show,
100%.
the Truman Show has that huge cultural relevance.
Mhm.
It really stuck with everybody, but at the end of the day, comedy is the best outlet. So it's gonna hit people a little bit easier
Yeah.
Right.
than the Matrix. Because
Right.
when the Matrix came out, half the people were like, I had to watch it 3 times to even
Right.
understand it. Like
Right.
it's very layered. But Truman Show is like reality show, Jim Carrey, he
Mhm.
reaches the end, he freaks out, you know?
Mhm.
And that's kind of just, you know, the Matrix with no karate. So when you have a plot that like bleeds into like, dang, what's real, what's not,
Yeah.
I think that really makes a good movie. And that's, yeah.
That's a great point.
It's true.
Which brings to, speaking of good movies, we have a ranking system here.
Okay.
The ranking system is out of 5. First of all, I believe Eddie Murphy is literally the greatest of all time in everything. So
Does that go stand up,
This-
acting?
this is across
Everything?
the board. Eddie
Okay.
Murphy is the GOAT.
That's cool.
So if Eddie Murphy's the GOAT, on a scale of 5, how many Eddie Murphys do you give this movie? And you can pick the Eddie Murphys that you
Hilarious.
give.
Matrix?
Yep. Think about it, man. While you're thinking, I will tell you right now my Eddie Murphys. I give this 3.5 Eddie Murphys.
The Matrix?
I give the Matrix.
3.5 out of 5.
First of all, you repeating the question
That's
is not
crazy.
going to change my answer.
Which half of Eddie Murphy?
Okay.
That's a
Top-
good question.
top
That's,
half,
that's a solid
Bottom
question.
half or
Solid
split
question.
down the middle this way?
That's a solid question. First, I'm giving this movie a Pluto Nash Eddie Murphy. I'm then giving this a Beverly Hills Cop 3 Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
And then I'm giving this 1,000 words Eddie Murphy. And the half, I'm going to give you half of both finger Eddie Murphy because there was a large part of this movie that I was like, woo!
What half though? Upper half? Lower half?
You're talking about his body?
Like actually,
Yeah.
like if you were to split, you
You
said
out of
half of Eddie Murphy.
control. Okay. If I have to split
Like
him,
this way?
it's straight down the middle.
Right or left?
What?
Which half? You said
All right.
half of Eddie Murphy. Which
Okay,
half?
I'ma
Everybody know
use-
Eddie Murphy got a good side. No.
I'm going to use the left of Eddie Murphy, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because every time Eddie Murphy's doing his mannerisms, it's always with the left hand.
Mm.
So he's
Oh,
always
you
like,
really
oh, let me tell you.
studied
Yeah.
film?
It's like, if you look at all his movies,
Yeah.
he's leading with his left, and then it goes to the right. So yeah, I'm leading with the left.
Okay. Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So who are your 3 Eddie Murphys? Or I'm sorry, you got
How
5.
many?
You ain't got to name all 5.
Yeah. It's such a complete movie, so there's really no reason to not give it 5.
Okay.
I'm I'm gonna give it 4.5, and this is why.
Okay.
4.5 Eddie Murphys, just because it was so ahead of its time at the time that it kind of like did stuff that it like we weren't ready for. And those movies tend to look dated when you go back a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
Because everybody
Like,
copied it afterwards.
yeah, it's kind of like how like old video games that tried to be realistic end up dating faster as opposed to something with like a certain animation style that's timeless. So I think that it was so ahead of itself with like the action and the CGI that now that we are where we are, it's I don't know if I can convince that many people to go back to it as I could when it first dropped.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Okay, I'll give you that. How many Eddie Murphys for you? Oh, wait a second. Hold tight.
we got
Autumn Reed,
Let's go,
$9.99.
Autumn Rich.
The Matrix is the evolved version of Skynet. John Connor would have been the equivalent to Morpheus. Watch Terminator Salvation, then rewatch The Matrix. I like that.
I didn't even know these were connected. I would love to watch both of them.
This might be your prequel movie right here.
This
maybe
might be
John
the prequel.
Connor goes into the whole thing, and maybe you get to Morpheus that way.
That touche.
That might be.
He better be black. JG, $10, my guy. Thank you.
Let's go.
Says just showing support.
JG.
Keep the content coming. Hoping we get some gaming content soon as well. Much love, bro.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I turned on my computer, my gaming computer, 2 days ago. Right when I landed back in town, and I tried to load up Twitch, and I went and I turned the gaming computer on. I went to OBS. And I did not remember what I was doing. Like, I don't know how to set the stream up anymore.
Oh, dude.
I gotta
How long
call
has it been?
Kadeem or something. I have not streamed a video game in a year and a half,
Oh wow.
maybe 2 years. And I haven't consistently streamed since 2021.
Oh, damn.
So like right around the caffeine days.
Yep.
So like I don't even know how to set the stream up anymore, bro. Like I was looking, trying to remember. So I mean, I could go old school and just put a camera on the PlayStation 5 and be like,
don't do that.
But
Don't do
Right.
that.
Right.
you know what I mean? I don't remember how to do it. So I can add Twitch to the next time we go live doing an episode here. But gaming content, I don't know, man. Until I talk to Kadeem, it's a wrap.
That's the key. I'm playing a fast food simulator with him tonight, so
Hey,
we're about to be serving burgers.
serve
Nice.
burgers.
That's cool.
Hey, Hustle Man got burgers. So give me your 5 Eddie Murphys.
Look, I'm just going Eddie Murphy raw across the board.
Woo.
5 out of 5.
5 Raws.
Because dude, I mean
That's always a
that's
good
what
time.
the Matrix is, man. It's like, dude, it's so influential.
Yeah.
So influential. And like you said, like the fact that it's been parodied like almost every scene, like it's
Right.
crazy. And in everything, whether it's animated TV, whether it's movies, whether it's video games, like dude,
Right.
everything.
You're right. Now here's the final question for you guys. And for the chat, you guys can chime in. We have another award system here. And it is, everybody has the Oscars, they got the Emmys. We got the Zellies, the Denzel Washington Award
Zellies.
for whichever character in this movie you would like to give it to. Which character in this movie would you give the Zelly? Me, myself, I'm giving it to Tank. And the reason I'm giving it to Tank is because Tank got shot twice in the real world. He didn't get shot in the Matrix. He got shot in the real world twice. Once in his back and the other one in his chest. Still got up, saved the day, got everybody into the simulation, and didn't even come back for 2 and 3. That's the mark of a hero. So I'm giving the Zelly to Tank, man. Who are you guys giving it to?
Okay, so I read about this thing, and I'm not saying you're doing this.
Okay.
I read about this thing where when people are asked who their favorite character is in an ensemble cast, like if they say who's your favorite character in The Simpsons, people are way less likely to say Homer because it's almost like cooler to say like a side random character, right?
Yeah.
But I want to kind of go completely opposite with that and give it to Keanu Reeves, Neo. I didn't know who he was before this. I think he might have done a
What?
Yeah.
You didn't know who Keanu Reeves was?
No, because he was
before
doing
the
like
Matrix?
he was doing like rom-coms and stuff, right?
No.
Hey, Pat, I think we got to square up.
He had like a really popular series.
We got to fight in the streets.
You never seen like
Who was he?
Bill and Ted?
Oh yeah. I saw that way later. Didn't
You saw
see
that
it.
after the Matrix.
I saw it way after, like in like a park, like where they do old school movies. Not my thing. Not a fan.
not your
You
thing
didn't
watching
like
movies in
Bill
the
and
park,
Ted?
or not your thing the movie?
Bill and Ted.
Oh,
It just didn't
Well,
connect.
because you were an adult already.
Yeah, probably so.
You got to watch Bill and Ted when you 10, 11, or a teenager.
Mm.
I missed who it was. So that was my first intro to him. And I think he played a confused person in a confusing movie so well.
Excuse me, Patrick Cloud. Noise Media
Oh,
Channel just
hey.
gave $50. Oh
Hey.
my God. Mr. Noise from the Patreon. I literally want somebody to drop that BET Awards speech, Team CT all day. It's your turn now. Give us a BET Awards thank you speech to Talking Noise.
BET Awards thank you speech. Oh,
Yep.
oh shoot. What just happened?
He just gave you the emotional moment.
Thank you, Noise Media Channel. This is BET Black Production. Sorry for starting late. We're all black here, celebrating black stuff. What up, 50? Thank you for the $50. It's going towards great creators and a great channel. I don't know how to make this specifically about BET, but coming up next, Tyler the Creator is performing.
Yes.
That's fire.
Good
bro.
job.
That's
I
pretty
love
good.
it.
I agree with you, but here's the thing, and this is why I think with certain movies like Neo, Keanu Reeves, I love Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves, John Wick, Bill and Ted,
Mhm.
Speed. I
Yeah.
love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It's a great series.
Johnny Mnemonic. Throwback reference.
Underrated.
Come on, man.
I don't know
Dude.
So Constantine, so many movies, but I grew up watching Keanu Reeves. So when I saw this, I wasn't this wasn't his best thing to me because I was always in.
Yeah.
Like to me, Speed was crazy because of what he was doing in the film and what he was dealing with off camera for the movie to be made happening. So
In Speed?
yeah, River Phoenix had his, one of his close friends had died and he still had to shoot the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, like
Keanu
still
Reeves been through a lot, man.
he's been through so
Yeah.
much, man.
Mhm.
So that's why I always love Keanu Reeves. So with this movie and with several movies, I don't pick the lead character because it's always like, and of course I'm choosing, like if I say
Right.
Superman, of course it's Christopher Reeve.
Right.
But in this case, if we were to do Superman, it would be Christopher Reeves, and then it would be Gene Hackman.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Christopher Reeves did such a great job in
Mhm.
Superman.
Mhm.
Anyway, but I hear what you're
But
saying.
yeah, I think that like The Matrix has so many good characters
Yeah.
to choose from, but I would just give it to Neo specifically because like just how confusing the movie was. I believed him. He was just like, "Whoa, what the hell? What is happening?
Yeah,
what?"
yeah.
And I just felt like seeing him go from completely to confused to
Mhm.
like mastering the
Yeah.
program, and
Yeah.
then he just randomly flies in the last scene. Like
Mhm.
randomly.
Yeah.
he's like,
Super.
we didn't hear about that at all.
Yeah.
But I think that was just supposed to be like, all right, he can do whatever
Yeah,
now.
he's the
He can
one.
do what he is the one. Who are you giving the Zelly to, man?
I'm gonna give it to Trinity.
Okay.
Like Trinity's
Fire.
fantastic in this
Yep, yes, she
movie.
is.
So yeah, definitely does, like for that kick alone.
Oh.
You know, the
Right.
the straight up, like I'm just like, dude, that's amazing. Like I remember
Mhm.
watching that and just being blown away.
I think I don't know if it was the Matrix Revolutions or if it was the Matrix Reloaded, she only got $1 million.
That's crazy.
I know, because when I looked at I think Keanu got like 100 million
Damn.
for some. I know. But when I look at what she got, I was so pissed because she's a key part of the
Trinity?
film. Yeah.
I don't
You
even
can look this
understand that. Like,
up. You can look it up. I looked it up earlier today. That's
got
another
100
reason.
million?
why would she take that?
Here's the thing, man. I don't know if you know this, Lawrence. Acting is not an easy thing to book. You can't just book big movies, bro. And mind you, a residual from $1 million check is way better than nothing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I'll
residuals
give you
go
that.
But
down.
the movie
as
was
you get
huge by then. Why not get a pay bump?
but this also goes to how women are not getting paid the same
course.
as men in
Yeah.
action films or any type of movie in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Mhm.
So it's unfortunate, especially because she deserved it. The way
Man.
she got her body in shape,
Yeah.
her choreography, the way that she delivered this character, the chemistry that she and Keanu had
Yeah.
was just incredible. But beyond that, man, this has been an incredible episode. It's time to get to the after show.
This is
If
fun.
you guys would like to join the after show, it is available right after this show, but it is only available on Patreon. Patreon.com/CTisDOPE. And once you go there, you get a chance to be a part of a lot of different things. We have a lot of different tiers for different budgets. If you guys would like to be a part of the group where we watch the movie we're about to review, we're going to do some watch parties, but a
Yeah.
couple more members, and we will do that watch party weekly. Right now, it's looking like we're going to do once a month, but the more people come on, the bigger the party is. Also, you have access to the Discord community. We love to have you there. Patrick Cloud, what's coming up for you, man? How can people find you?
Patrick Cloud on everything except Twitter. It's Pat's on your back.
Pat's on your back.
I'm pretty proud of that.
That's a double entendre. Pat's on your back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I basically got a whole schedule like of programming happening on my Twitch and on my YouTube channel, and I also have a gaming channel called Cloudy Arcade. So all that stuff.
I love that, man. Thank you so much for even doing the show,
Of course,
dude.
man.
Yeah,
Anytime.
thank you,
I'm
man.
pulling up on
You're the
y'all
best.
anytime.
My guy, give it to me, man. What's coming up for you? How can people find you?
You can find me at Mayor Young on pretty much every social media. And if you want to geek out with me, talk comic books, come to fantasticforum.live Wednesday nights, 6:30 p.m. We do the show live. You can be a part of it. So come check us out.
Yeah, man. Check the description for this video. I need y'all to follow CT Cinema Movie Reviews or CT Cinema Reviews everywhere across the board. Please help those pages grow. We're going to be doing even more, and we'll be back next week with even more fun. Thank you for everybody with the super chat. Go to patreon.com/CTisDOPE. We out. Team CT all day.
Yeah.